What's up, guys? It's Ken Jr. down here in front of the New England Motorcycle Museum Saturday morning, about to take you on a demo ride on my 1970 Yamaha RT1 360 from the Mick car collection. A little background, lots of you guys don't know me. I'm usually not in front of the camera. I'm 20 years old. I'm the sales manager in the Kaplan cycle shop. It's usually my pops, Ken Sr., the curator of the museum, that's in front of the camera and rocking the helmet cam here. But so a little bit of background. I grew up racing off-road, of course, modern bikes. When I was 17, I quit racing and came on full-time in the cycle business here, and we do primarily vintage. In the past 3 to 4 months, I've brought in over 20 Yamaha Enduros from 68 to 1973. That's considered the golden age for collectors, more specifically the 68 to 71 models, the badged years. These are the bikes that are the most desirable. These are the bikes with the lines. These are the ones that everyone's looking for. In late December, I was contacted by a collector in Texas. His name is Mick Carr. Actually, that's a stage name, or what was his stage name. He was just turned 70 years old, and in his retirement from being a professional musician, he restored these Yamaha Enduros. And he contacted us and said he had 14 of these. It's from the Dallas, Texas area. If you guys don't know, we're located in Connecticut, a few miles east of Hartford. And I worked with Mick for several weeks, and we ended up purchasing the collection from him. A handful of RTs, handful of 250s. As I said, in his retirement for 20 years, he collected parts and Yamaha Enduros and did restorations. Not much buying and selling. He had, like I said, he ran out of steam in the last year and a half of his endeavors with these bikes, and he passed the torch to us. I bought all of his collection, all the parts, all the bikes. I sent one of my guys down, and we picked them up. This bike, this RT, was my personal bike. I saved it. Most of the other bikes were resold, auctioned to generate revenues for the museum. The majority of his collection is still on display here. They were purchased by collectors who chose to keep them on display on a loan type basis, which we're extremely grateful for. We've got a phenomenal collection, and there was some really high-end, just unobtainable pieces in there. We had a 68 DT1 that auctioned off for $10,500 to a very good friend of mine now, Mr. John Bloodworth, out of New Mexico. But that's enough flapping of the gums, guys. If you want a little bit more background, give me a call. I know my contact, my email, everything is on here. I'm in the shop. I'm in the museum 7 days a week. I love this stuff. But let me tell you about the bike, because I know that's why you guys are watching this video. So I've already got it warmed up, sitting down here by the stream. Fire her up. 1970, first year of the RT1 360. And this bike didn't come from the factory with a compression release. 71 was the first year of the compression release. This RT is unrestored. You're looking at the factory paint job from 1970 on the tank. In the oil reservoir, the oil injection system works perfectly. The bike hadn't been ridden in, I'd say, around 2 years when we got it in the shop. Mick's collection, I'd say 10 of the bikes were fully put together and complete. The rest were in assembly frames that were in the process of being restored. But this bike, we went through the fuel system, cleaned out the tank, rebuilt the petcock, put new fuel lines on it, and also cleaned the carburetor, and she fired right up. It had perfect 125 PSI compression, and I had my guy Chris go right through it. This has been my Sunday rider for the last several months, and for whatever reason, I've decided to go ahead and sell it. This has been parked in front of my desk every day, and it's been an absolute joy looking at it. But to tell you the truth, guys, I'm 20 years old and about to buy my first house, and I need more capital. If you guys saw another one of my Bring a Trailer auctions, I auctioned off a stunning DT2 250. Wasn't correct paint, it was actually a repaint, but mechanically it was rock solid, just like this one. That brought $4,000, and the only reason I sold that one was because I found a 1975 Can-Am MX2 that I just had to have, and I didn't have the money for it, so the DT2 went up for sale. This 360, it's got the stock gearing, so I believe it's good for about 65 miles an hour. I have not taken it on the highway, but taking it for a rip up and down the back roads mostly. I'm going to take you up to Henry Park, where I go on my Serenity rides. Sometimes it gets a little bit crazy in the office, but there's nothing like jumping on the Enduro and going for a rip. So I'll take you guys up to the Henry Park Tower. Bike started second kick for me this morning, stone cold. It does have a compression release in place of the second spark plug hole. Like I said, this is unrestored, but there's a few pieces that have been refinished by Mick, the collector out of Dallas who we bought the bike from. For example, there's a new satin finish on the front and rear fenders, which are original and correct. These 360s like to be revved down low. I'm doing 35 miles an hour up a real steep hill here, coming into Henry Park. The 250cc's are much more free revving, but the 360 was the big dog in 1970. This is the first year model, like I was saying. I know if you watch the video this far, you know exactly what you're looking at. Growing up mostly in the dirt, I'm somewhat partial to the on-off-road Enduros. With that being said, I own 3 of these right now, or actually 2 RTs and an AT1B from 71. So this right here, this one that I'm riding, was considered my kind of Sunday light rider / investment bike. It's far too nice to be taken off-road, at least in my opinion. I haven't actually, the first time I've seen one of these in original paint come up for sale was just this week on eBay, and I've been looking for weeks and weeks, just out of curiosity, up here at Henry Park. But got the idle adjusted nicely. Shadow's nice and down low. So it's got red wing shocks, the stock Yamaha forks, of course the headlight bucket and ears. The reflectors are present. Chenxing Trials tires, which are nice and sticky on the newer side. Look, you still see the nubs on the tires here. But she will receive a thorough detail before she's put away. Also, hey, something to note, guys, this Ohio plate, 71 Ohio plate, this is not included in the auction. That's going to stay in the museum. We bought a 1971 RT 360 this past weekend from a good friend of mine, Scott Majek, and he was telling me this chain guard right here with the original bracket. This is an extremely rare piece to find. Original seat's still intact. Mikuni carb, everything's super clean. When we brought it in, I had my lead detail guy, Doc, go right through her, soup to nuts, and polished her up for me, and it's really, it's a showroom quality piece. It's been on display in the museum for the last several weeks as I've kind of stopped riding it as much. But really, it's just the same reason my buddy Scott sold his RT1. It was too nice to ride. So I ended up just sitting. These RT1s have lots of nut down bottom, so it will wheelie pretty easily. I don't know if you guys saw our video on that 71 RT1 that we posted on the YouTube channel. If anyone cares to see it, let me know. I'll link it in the comment section down here. But my pops was riding the 71 up the hill here, up to Henry Park, and I was riding this thing, and I had kind of a spiritual moment there, you know. Don't get to ride with my pops a whole lot, but ripping up the road on the yellow and red RTs, that was something, man. I'm never gonna forget that stuff. I think we documented it pretty well, but unfortunately that RT1's going to be auctioned off as well. If you guys aren't familiar with the project, my dad bought this brownfield site 7 years ago, and we've invested over $7 million renovating the first phase of the project, which consists of the museum facility, which right now has 25,000 square feet of space open, and also the Kaplan cycle shop. So the museum's a 501c3 nonprofit. There's close to 200 bikes on display, but essentially there's still, you know, there's 10 buildings on 11 acres here, and a lot of environmental cleanup that needs to be done, and we got a lot of overhead at the museum, so we can't keep them all. We can't keep them all. So my father and I maintain a small collection of our personal bikes and assets that are on display in the museum. But we've been in the industry for a very long time. We have friends from all over who not only will buy bikes from us, but bring their collections down for display. And we've been super blessed to be in touch with just some really incredible folks, collectors of all genres of motorcycling. We've got it's a very diverse collection. Actually, we just completely reorganized the museum space yesterday with our staff guys and bought a collection of 35 vintage motocross bikes 2 days ago from a collector in Canterbury, Connecticut. So our guys are extremely hard workers, and they're super passionate about what we're doing. So am I. Guys, I'm 20 years old and I'm not going to school right now, so I could be here with my father and help carry out this vision. So we got big plans this year. We've got events planned. See, we own this entire lot of land right here across the street. The Hockenham River is right there. This mill used to actually be water powered. So first big event is going to be Rock Stock. That's Memorial Day weekend, June 1st and 2nd. We have Doug Danger doing the jump. We got a classic bike show. We've got food vendors, 21 bands. It's going to be somewhat of a music festival. Whoever buys this bike is going to get free tickets to Rock Stock and an invitation to come down. Bike nights are starting April 12th. We have bike nights and movie nights every Friday and Saturday night that there's not an event at the museum. So the bike brakes great. I hope you can hear the bike over my rambling, but try to give you guys as much information as possible. Like I said, guys, I'm here 7 days. I love this stuff. If you just want to call me and talk about some enduros, please do. My personal line is going to be in the BAT auction here, and I'm going to shed a tear for sure the day that this one goes off, and then again when the day comes that this thing's going to be picked up. But unfortunately, I'm just not in a position to keep it at the moment, you know. But anyways, guys, there's Ray over there. Ray lives at the Bixby house, right next to the museum. But in closing, guys, good luck bidding. If you got any questions, just give me a ring, get on the line with me, shoot me an email. I check my email 12 times a day. I'm always around. This is a no excuses bike. I can help with shipping. Message me your zip code for a shipping quote. I do have a clear state of Texas title with the bike. You also get a notarized bill of sale. And that's about it, guys. I really don't have anything else to say. I think the photos speak for themselves. This is a sad one to let go, but we got to do it. So thank you guys for watching thus far. I'll be looking forward to interacting with you guys in the comments here. I'll bring a trailer. And good luck bidding, and God bless America.